Okay, hi everyone. Let us take a look on this interesting question paper from Gauteng Province. It's Preparatory Examination 2024 Mathematical Literacy Paper 1. Alright, so it was for 150 marks. Okay, so instructions and information. And then question 1.1, Sally Harley, a marketing executive, works from Mondays to Fridays from 7 hours, that is 0700 to 15 hours and 0 minutes. All right, that is 1500 at the Johannesburg Zoo, where she promotes the Joburg Zoo. And now you're saying her salary advice. Now, when we are talking about salary advice, you are talking about a salary slip or a pay slip. That's another word that you can say for salary advice. Remember, when you're talking about a pay slip or salary advice, in this case, that is an official document that an employer gives to an employee to show details of the earnings and deductions for a specific period. Okay, now they're saying her salary advice for the month of July 2024 is displayed below. So salary advice, Johannesburg Zoo, Gens, Mats, Avenue, Parkview, Johannesburg, employment date, pay period, worked days 26, employee's name and ID number, designation and department. Okay, let us look at the salary advice. The table: income, basic salary, traveling allowance, housing, rental allowance, meal allowance, gross income. We are given the amounts, the deductions, and also the amount okay, for a specific deduction. All right, and then let us take a look at the questions. Let's take a look at the questions. Use the information above to answer the questions that follow. 1.1.1, determine the gross income in context. Okay, or define rather, sorry, defined them a term. Okay, define the term gross income in context for 2 marks. So now when you define, in this case, you define based on the context. Okay, you don't just define, but you define based on the context. So in this case, what is gross income? We know that a gross income is the income that a person receives, okay, before any deductions. Okay, that is gross income. It's the income that a person receives before deductions. Okay, so if we are going to define the gross income based on the context, we need to know the person that we are dealing with, which in this case they gave us the name. They said it's Sally. Okay, let's take a look on the name again. Yes, that is Sally Harley. All right, that is the person's name. And we also need to know whether this person works. Okay, remember they said Sally works in Johannesburg Zoo. Okay, so the definition will just be, okay, let me write 1.1.1. 1.1.1, gross income in the context. That's what we are defining, gross income. So in this case, gross income is the income that Sally receives from Joburg Joburg Zoo before any deductions. Okay, before any deductions. So you define based on the context. Okay, yes. So if you were to define before any deductions, if you were to define and you define gross income, you say this is the income that a person receives before deductions, you are wrong, because you didn't rather define based on the context. Okay, before any deductions. So you just need to define based on the context. Okay, before any deductions, and this is correct. That is for 2 marks. That is the gross income. Hope it makes sense. Let's move to another question, which says that 1.1.2 write down the gross income amount in words. So we are already given the gross income in numbers, but we just need to write this. We are required to write this gross income in words. Okay, this is 26,100. So just write that in words, and then you get your full 2 marks. 1.1.2. Okay, 26,100. 100, and that is your 2 marks. Okay, and then the next question, provide the month in which the salary was issued. So the salary advice in which it was issued, we need to provide the month. So let's check our salary advice details. All right, so here is the pay period, 2024-07-31. So 07, we know that is July, so it means this salary advice was definitely issued on July. Okay, so that is 1.1.1.3 July. Okay, and that is your 2 marks. 1.1.4 1.1.4 for 4 marks. Determine the missing values of A and B. A, total deductions, and then B, it's the net salary after the deductions. So for total deductions, what are we going to do? We've got the deductions, we've got the provident fund, we've got payee, we've got medical aid. So we just simply need to add this. Okay, add 1,200, which is for provident fund, add 2,186 and 78 cents, which is for payee, and then add 1,390, which is for medical aid. Then the total of that will give us total deductions. So can we do that? Yes, we can do that. Okay, so you will just say the value of A is equals to 1,200, right, plus 2,186.78 cents plus let's go back, plus 1,390, okay, which is for medical aid. Those are the deductions, 1,390. So we add the deductions in order to find the total deduction. So when you add this, how much I'm going to get? 1,200 plus 2,186.78 plus 1,390. So total deductions, it's 4,776 and 75 cents. So we are not done, of course, because we need to find the net salary. Now the net salary that we will calculate here, it's the net salary after the deductions. Okay, this was the gross income, which means this is the income before the deductions. After we will get the net salary. So it means from gross income we need to deduct your provident fund, your payee, your medical aid in order to get the net salary, because the net salary is the salary or the income after deductions. So we just simply need to subtract 26,000. Okay, so the value of B is going to be equals to 26,000. Let's verify. Okay, it's 26,100 minus total deductions, which is 4,776 rand and 75 cents. So the amount that you will get here when you subtract gross income with the total deductions will be the net salary. Okay, the income after deductions. Okay, salary after the deductions. All right, and then we can move to 1.1.5, which says determine Sally's age in years and months. Okay, the question wants us to find Sally's age, okay, in the form of years and in the form of months on the date that she receives this payment. So we are going back to our salary advice to check the date that she receives the payment, and also check her ID number, okay, because we need to know the date of birth. Okay, so let's go back here. So if you can check the ID number, it says 92, so it means she was born in 1992. Which month? 06. Okay, let me do this. All right, what's going on here? Let me do this. We said she was born in 19. Okay, let me try to fix this. Okay, yeah, we are good now, right? Okay, so she was born in 1992. Which month? 06. On which day? On the 3rd of June 1992. Okay, and then she received this salary advice, which is the pay slip, on 2024, on the year 2024, and the month 07 and the date 31. So the question wanted the age in the form of years and in the form of months in which she receives this salary advice. So what are we going to do in this case? We need to find the difference between the pay period year, the pay period year, okay, with the year in which she was born. So in other words, we will say 2024, okay, 2024 minus 1992, okay, and this is definitely equals to 32, right? So that is 32 years. That is Sally's age in terms of years. Okay, and the month, let's look at the month. She was born in June, and then she received this in July. So what is the difference? 07 minus 06, that is 1 month. Okay, so that is 32 years and 1 month. All right, 32 years and 1 month. I hope that makes sense. 1 month, yes. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, then the correct answer for 1.1.5 is 32 years and 1 month. Okay, and then 1.1.6, write down the term payee in full. Okay, that is pay, S-U-N. Okay, pay, S-U-N. And just for writing the term payee in full, you've already accumulated 2 marks. Okay, pay, S-U-N. All right, so let's move to the next question, 1.2, which says that Sally is planning to visit her family in Sweden during December to experience a white Christmas. Okay, then they are saying she decided to save up her travel and meal allowance for 1 year to ensure that she will have enough money for meals, transportation, and entertainment. Okay, and then they are saying the current exchange rate is 1,82 ZAR, which is the South African rand, for 1 SEK, which is the Swedish krona. That is the exchange rate for Sweden. Okay, the country Sweden. And then use the information above. Use the information above to answer the questions that follow. Okay, let's try to zoom. Yes, 1.2.1, between the two countries which currency is stronger? What do you think? 1,82 South African rand, 1 Swedish krona. Between these two countries, which currency is stronger? Definitely the currency that is stronger is the one with the least value, which in this case is 1. 1 is smaller than 1,82. So in other words, Sweden has the currency that is stronger because it can buy more of another country. Okay, so between the two countries, which currency is stronger? This currency is Swedish krona. So the correct answer for 1.2.1 is Swedish krona. And then 1.2.2, convert 28,573 South African rand to Swedish krona. Okay, so we know that 1 rand and 82 cents in South Africa is equivalent to 1 SEK in Swedish krona. So in other words, in order for us to convert this 28,573 to Swedish krona, we just simply need to divide by 1 rand and 82 cents. Then this is going to be equals to 28,573 divided by 1 rand and 82 cents. This is equals to 15,699,45, okay, 45 krona. Okay, interesting. And then 1.3 is all about definition of concepts. Okay, they are saying the table below contains a list of explanations and definitions of concepts used in mathematical literacy. So it's very important to know the concept, okay, in order for you to find the correct answer answers for this 1.3 question. Okay, match the weight given with the appropriate description from the table. Write only the correct letter A up until G next to the question number 1.3.1 to 1.3.4, e.g. 1.3.5H. So we are giving the definition of the concept. We just need to match the weight that is given to us with the appropriate definition that is also given to us. Okay, let's look at the terms. So we are given the median. We know the median is the middle term in data handling. Okay, and we know that median contains 50% of the items in the given set of items. Okay, and then the SARS is a company whereby those businesses pay tax to on behalf of the government. And then mode is the number that appears the most. The discrete data is a type of data that can only take the specific separate part. So median, as you can see, G, it says the number in the middle after an odd set is arranged in chronological order. So it means the correct answer for 1.3.1 is G. Okay, and then SARS, a company that collects taxes on behalf of the government. So the correct answer here is B. Right, and then mode, the number that appears here is the number that appears the most in a set of data, that is D. All right, and then the discrete data is the set of data that contains whole numbers only. Just like I said, this is a type of data that can only take specific separate parts, usually whole numbers only. Okay, so the correct answer for 1.3.4 discrete data, that is F. Right, interesting. Then we can move to the next question, which is 1.4. right? Are we here? Definitely. So now 1.4, it says below is a graph that represents the level of performance of the learners from Jabulani Secondary School for the last test that was done at the beginning of August 2024. Okay, the performance is represented by levels 1 to 7. Now, you need to be able to analyze the graph. So here, the heading of the graph is grade 12 last mathematical literacy test 2024, and then on our y-axis we are given the number of learners, that is the total number of learners. Okay, and then let's see on the x-axis we have the level of performance, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6. Okay, number of learners that got level 1 is 24, number of learners that got level 2, 35, number of learners that got level 3 is 44, and the number of learners that got level 4 is 31, number of learners that got level 5 it's 8. Okay, 8 learners got level 5, and then 7 learners got level 6. No learner got level 7. Is it even possible? Is it even possible to not obtain that distinction in mathematical literacy? Wow. Okay, and then they've given us the key. They are telling us that from 0 to 29% we've got level 1, 30 to 39% we've got level 2. Okay, and all of that. So let's see the very first question, which says identify the type of graph that is used to represent this data. So let's go back to our graph. The type of graph that has the spaces between the bars is called what? It's called a bar graph. It's not a histogram, it's a bar graph. The one that has the spaces in between those bars is called a bar graph. So the correct answer for 1.1.4, it's 1.4.1, it's bar graph. Okay, that's correct. And then 1.4.2, determine the level. We are looking for level. Is it level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4? You see, determine the level where no learner achieved. Just like we said that it's impossible in mathematical literacy not to get level 7. I mean, you get me, most. Okay, so as you can see, level 7, no one achieved this level. So the correct answer for 1.4.2 is level 7. That's easy, right? And then that's all about 1.4. We can move to this question, which is question 2. 2.1. Mr. and Mrs. de Klerk plan to renew their wedding vows at the Emnyani wedding venue. They are comparing the costs of a weekday and a weekend package. They plan to invite 42 couples, okay, 42 couples and 12 single people. The singles include Mr. de Klerk's mother and Mrs. de Klerk's father, who are retired and over 65 years old. All right, and then 4 children under the age of 5, 6 children above 5 years. So we have 4 children that are under the age of 5, and we also have 6 children above 5 years, right? And then the table below, okay, the table below indicates the prices for the Enyani wedding venue on Monday to Thursday and on a Saturday and Sunday. Right, let's see the table, which is table 2. Extract from a budget for a wedding venue. Days of the week, we have Saturday, Sunday, Monday to Thursday. The venue high in Saturday is 15,650. On Sunday it's 13,450, and then on Monday it's 0. And then the price per person, minimum number of guests that are allowed in Saturday, Sunday, Monday to Thursday, and then maximum number of guests in Saturday, Sunday, Monday to Thursday. Okay, so they are saying note, all prices include 15% VAT. Okay, children under the age of 5 pay 25% of the price per person, as they do not eat as much. And remember, they said to us that we have 4 children that are under the age of 5. So it means these 4 children that are under the age of 5, they will pay 25% of the price per person. Okay, and then the children that are above the age of 5 pay full price, and then the pensioners above the age of 60 pay 60% of the price per person. And remember, we have in this case Mr. de Klerk's mother and Mrs. de Klerk's father, who are retired and over 65 years old. So it means Mr. de Klerk's mother and Mrs. de Klerk's father, they will pay 60%, right? 60% of the price per person. Those are some of the things that you need to note down. And then if a person cancels the venue more than a month in advance, they receive 85% of the venue high cost back. Those are the refunds, and 90% of the price paid per person. and then if a person cancels the value less than a